The Chief of Staff in the Revolutionary Army just dropped, SH Figuarts Sabo. And if you have no clue who he is Luffy's other older brother. That's right, Luffy has another brother, and Sabo has the same powers as Ace since they share the same devil fruit. Sabo is pretty cool, so when Tamashii announced that they were making him, I was surprised because he was not a figure I was expecting to get so soon. But then again, should I be surprised at this point with this line? The promos for this guy did look pretty good at first glance, but then I noticed that they did reveal a few things that I'm not a big fan of. The single jointed elbows and knees and the plastic cape, which big time screams that this figure is gonna be mid. But I'm gonna give this figure a chance to prove me wrong, so let's go ahead and find out if he sucks or not. First, let's take a look at his packaging. It's the same style as all the other One Piece SH Figuarts. We can see Sabo inside and a promo image of him on the front. Top of the box has a lovely straw cutout, right side of the box has the figure's name and a promo image of it, and the left side shows off all the faces he comes with. Here's the bottom of the box, and then here's the back of the box. It says Super Action, but it's only showing two poses that are both pretty similar. That's worrisome. And what else is worrisome about the packaging is the weight of it. It's got a little weight to it, and I'm sure we can all guess why. That's right, the cape. And right out of the packaging, I instantly took a disliking to it. It fucking sucks. It's first off designed poorly. It's a hard plastic material that has two joints on each shoulder, so each side of the jacket can move around, which would be cool, but the middle doesn't have any movement at all, so it looks really freaking dumb when the sides are up and the middle is down. Then, I also don't like the way it sits on them. There's a lot of floating parts around the shoulders with a decent bit of gappage, and to me, it looks bad. And yeah, you can adjust them to somewhat sit better, but then the back of the jacket is poking out, and I just don't like the way this looks. Then another thing that sucks about it is the collar area. When I try to move the arms up, they can get caught in it, leading to pushing the jacket off some, as well as getting some paint rub around the arms. And then, another freaking issue is that since there's some weight to it, it can sometimes be hard to get him to stand, especially in action poses. And he didn't even come with a stand like the kid to combat this. And yes, I know, his jacket does come off, and that's great, but I just wish it didn't suck and was cloth. Like his look just isn't complete without the jacket, but yet we really have to have the figure without it because it sadly sucks. And it really upsets me because I'm paying for this product, but time and time again, we have to keep modifying or getting less out of these figures to enjoy them. I don't want to spend an extra $25 to $30 on eBay for a cloth goods one. I just want the figure to come with it. Hopefully this is their last time doing this with the One Piece line because I can't stand plastic capes much longer. I got check them! At least it is removable, and he doesn't look bad without it, as he does look pretty damn good. The likeness is great and his proportions are pretty spot on. He's wearing a fit that he wore in the Egghead art around the time he returned to the Revolutionary Army. This choice was probably the smartest, because the other fit he wears probably would have made the figure some ass with the long jacket and shit. So I'm glad they went with his most current look. And they did do a great job with it. There's wrinkling all throughout his outfit, his hat looks nice, and the goggles are a separate piece so you can remove them if you choose. Then there's a little, I think it's called a cravat or an ascot, I don't know, I'm not fancy. It looks good and it can rotate around. And then all the buttons on his vest are painted pretty clean. So pretty much for his overall look, it is very good and clean, and the likeness is really spot on. And what else really makes his likeness really damn good is the faces he comes with. They all look so damn good. He comes with a stern resting face, a cocky smiling face, a joyful happy face, which is so damn good and is easily my favorite face that he comes with. And then he comes with an angry yelling face that has some good detailing on it, as the eyes are dilated correctly and he even has some veins popping. Very satisfied with all the faces that Sabo comes with. Then he of course comes with a DLC faceplate for Luffy, and this one is truly peak. It's based off when Luffy seen Sabo for the first time in Dressrosa, and wow, this face is great. The amount of detailing it has is insane, with all the tears, snot, and the way the face is shaped just all brings this expression to life. And it's even more peak having it paired up with this Chopper statue. Oh, there's some damn crybabies. Then Sabo comes with two optional head parts, one for wearing his hat and one for without. They both look good and I'm happy that they included both. But be aware, I did run into an issue that the head would take the neck with it while swapping. This issue would be really annoying, but I have noticed that it stopped doing it after posing the figure for a while, and that's probably because the hat head has actually kind of gotten loose on the neck peg. It's not like annoyingly loose, but it can flop around, so be aware of that. Sabo then comes with 5 interchangeable hands. He comes with 2 fisted hands, 2 open relaxed hands, 2 cup-like holding hands, 2 dragon claw hands, which is perfect because they are one of Sabo's signature moves, and then he comes with 2 weapon holding hands, and these are made to hold his pipe. Whoa, not that pipe. This pipe. That's right, Sabo comes with his signature pipe. It looks pretty cool, and if you want to put it in his hands, you'll need to pop the top of it off and slide into the hands and then put the top back on. Now the fit is a little snug, and I advise y'all to be really careful when putting the pipe in, because the pipe doesn't feel the strongest and you don't want to snap it. Oh, and the pipe can sit on the back of his jacket, which is a cool feature. And that's it for his accessories. So that means he doesn't come with any fire effects, which is lame. Like, they could at least gain on some little fire pieces to go around his pipe, like how the Mega House did. And actually, you can get those Mega House effects to fit on the SH Figuarts. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and what's also lame is that Tamashii posted a promo image of Sabo with fire effects, But that was just to say that you can use the effects that come with Ace on Sabo, which is great, but Sabo should have came with something. Damn, that's so frustrating to me. Oh well, but hey, if you do have the SH Figuarts Fire Effects kit, those do work well with him, but as I've said, it'd be nice if he came with some kind of flame effect. Ace is loaded, and Sabo gets 0, but Ace does cost $90, and Sabo is $60, so I guess it's somewhat justified, and I am somewhat satisfied with accessories. But what I'm not satisfied with is his articulation. His articulation has some poor design choices that really hurt this figure's value and fun to me. First off, I'm not going over the articulation with the cape, because I'll tell you straight up it's ass, and it's no fun posing him with it on. So yeah, to begin with, his head can look up a tiny bit, and it can look pretty far downwards, and it can look side to side and get a decent bit of tilt. It pretty much moves well all around, and I have really no issues with head articulation. But the first design choice I have an issue with this figure is the shoulder butterfly joint area, because it stinks. The shoulders can only go up this far, and then the butterfly joint isn't a butterfly joint because it does nothing good at all. In fact, it's awful because if you actually try to use it, the freaking arm will pop out of the socket. Yeah, and it does this quite often. Just about every time actually. If I move the left arm around, it pops out, and then if you barely try to push arms forward, they'll pop out. And actually looking at the design of the arms after they popped out a million times, I realized there is no butterfly joint. It's just a shoulder joint with this plastic piece to hide the gappage. So yeah, you aren't going to get the arms to cross over, and they sure as heck ain't going far backwards. And that's if the arms don't even pop out when you're trying to get So yeah, the shoulder joint sucks. Then he has a bicep swivel, and then he has another crappy and ugly design choice. Single jointed elbows that get not the best range and just stick out and look ugly when you use them. It's horrible, and it's like his freaking elbows are swollen, and it just upsets me so much looking at them. At least he does have good wrist movement, and his torso articulation actually isn't horrible, and it moves around really smooth all around. You can get him crunch a little bit forward, so it will show some gappage in the back, and he can lean a little bit backwards, but you'll get some gappage on the front. Then it gets a good amount of tilt, and it can twist side to side pretty damn good. And then his waist gets good movement all around. His legs go this far forwards, this far backwards, and really far outwards. And there's a thigh swivel. So no issues with the hips, but the area I do have an issue with on the legs is the knees. They are single jointed and don't get good enough range. In fact, you can actually see that when they're bent, they could get more flexion if they were double jointed. It's ass, plus I don't like the way they look. The way they cut in the pants and stuff just doesn't look good to me. Then he has a boot swivel, fairly decent ankles as they go up and down and they get a tiny bit of tilt. And he has a toe joint. So overall to me, Sabo's articulation gets a big fat mid. We really are limited with the poor design choices this figure has. First off, he wields a freaking weapon, so I'd expect a great butterfly joint, shoulder, and arm range to go with that. But no, he has a shoulder joint that pops out all the time while playing and single jointed elbows that suck. Then he has crappy single jointed knees that are ugly and would get so much more flexion if they were double jointed. And this honestly makes me sick. Tamashii has tons of releases with double jointed knees and elbows. I mean shit, Law, Kid, and Ace all have them. But yet this guy and other figures in this line don't, and it has to stop. It is ruining the look and posability with his figures. And it really upsets me when I know releases like Shanks and Zoro has some of these design choices on them. So I really hope they turn out good. Man, it sucks. But I mean, at least he can still hit some cool poses and look good in them, but he would still be way better with double jointed knees and elbows, and if his freaking shoulder joint didn't pop out. Okay, sorry for the rant, so let's go ahead and do some figure comparisons. First, here he is next to SH Figuarts Luffy. The scale I think is good. Sabo is taller than Luffy in the series and is replicated well here. Also, they look really damn good next to each other. Here he is next to Mega House Sabo. We can see the Mega House Sabo is a lot bigger and he's in his original fit. Here he is next to Mega House Ace, and you can use Ace's fire effects with the Sabo. Then here's Sabo next to Sanji and Zoro. Here he is next to Kid and Law. Here he is next to Sentinel Ace, and this works pretty good, and the Sentinel effects look good on Sabo. Here he is next to Team Gojo. Here he is next to Demonako Fit Goku. And lastly, here he is next to Storm Collectibles Yujiro Hama. So overall, my final thoughts about this figure is that this guy is mid, and that's because there's so much wrong with this guy. The plastic jacket is horrible, it's heavy and is really wonky having it on while posing them, and the fact the middle of it doesn't move really ruins it some more. At least it is removable, so if anyone makes a cloth goods version, I guess I'll have to cop. Then the next issue is the shoulders. They constantly pop out when you move them, and they get crap range. And then he has single joint elbows and knees that are ugly and don't get the best range at all. It's honestly so sickening to me because I want this figure to be so good, but yet he just isn't. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say he's a blast to pose and stuff when he just isn't to me. Yes, you can give him some cool poses and stuff, but they just weren't that fun to put him in. The only thing he has going for him is the fact that he looks so good and the faces are just so damn beautiful, especially the smile on the face. It's really infectious and makes me so damn happy. It's a shame it's just on this poorly designed and flawed body. This figure came with a box with a sticker that states Tamashii Nation's quality. This figure is not Tamashii Nation's quality. So yeah, I'm just let down about this release, and it has me so damn worried about Shanks and Zoro. Like, please, don't be ass. Man, Hopefully Ace is peak, which he looks freaking amazing, so when he comes in, we'll see. Now y'all probably still wondering if Sabo's a waste of money, and I don't know. Like, I don't regret buying him because he wasn't that expensive, and I do like having him pose up with Luffy, and I know I'm really gonna love him having him pose up next to Ace. But I know $57 to $65 still isn't cheap to most people, so maybe wait until Amazon one day gets him for like $40 to $45. I don't know. It's your money, and if you do love Sabo in One Piece, then I feel like you'll somewhat be satisfied with this guy. Because yes, he has a lot of issues, but he still can be somewhat fun, and he looks pretty damn cool sometimes when posed up. And that is it for this one, guys. Deku winner will be announced January 31st, so if you haven't entered that giveaway, go watch the video to do so now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all y'all support. I'll see y'all in the next one with some literal heat, because One Piece is on top.